Coming up on Network Africa, Indonesia is poised to carry out 14 executions for drug-related offenses. Nationals from Nigeria, Zimbabwe are part of those to be executed. Egypt asks IMF for $12 billion loan amid its struggling economy. This is Network Africa, and it starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Network Africa. I am Adeshewa Josh. History is repeating itself again in Indonesia, where the Deputy Attorney General has confirmed that there is no going back with his decision to execute 14 people on death row for drug crimes. UN human rights officials have expressed deep concern over the planned executions, urging President Jakarta to put an end to unjust capital punishment. Unlike what we saw last year, when 4 Nigerians were executed and their profiles made public, the inmates have not been officially named, but they are known to include citizens of Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Pakistan, and India. The prisoners have been notified of the plans for their executions in accordance with Indonesian law and could be put to death as early as tomorrow. The 14 have been put in isolation, and the executions are due to take place by Sunday at the latest. Well, let's take a look at this planned execution. Joining me now on the program is legal practitioner Malaki Ugumadu. Thank you so much for making out time to speak to us on Network Africa.
Well, let's take a look at this planned.
Well, human rights groups and lawyers have lobbied and are still lobbying President Joko Widodo to grant the prisoners clemency. But just like he did last year, he denied them. Are there further legal steps that could be taken to prevent these pending executions?
Hello?
You are on to Network Africa. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Malaki Ugumadu. I asked you, and it brought you up to speed about the fact that human rights groups and lawyers are lobbying President Joko Widodo to grant the prisoners clemency. But just like he did last year, he denied them. Now, are there further legal, including diplomatic steps that could be taken at this time to prevent these pending executions?
Well, there are several ways to look at it. The one is to continually admonish our nationals who are abroad to, whether they like it or not, insist that they must observe the rules, the laws, the legislations, whether extant or repealed, that regulate the affairs of human conduct in those other countries. Most of these East Asian countries, including Indonesia, Singapore, and so on and so forth, are very stringent on issues relating to drugs and drug trafficking. And so if they are put on notice and they also proceed, as it were, to find themselves in such unfortunate situations, they will naturally
I believe you're still on the line with me, Mr. Ugumadu. You were explaining to us why our people need to stay clear of laws.
Is to admonish the Indonesia as a country and insist that the entire regulation, the entire tendency at the moment is for the abolition of death penalty. Death penalty has not, by data, reduced the incidence of crime. It has also not solved the tendency of citizens to perpetrate the same offense. And therefore, all over the world, there is a very stringent campaign on the total abolition of death penalty as a means of capital punishment. The argument has shown very clearly that even in countries where death penalty is still recognized and practiced, including the United States of America, the incidence of crime in those countries have not reduced. So it is almost a signpost of backwardness that at a time when every other country, is joining the leagues of countries that are consistently repealing their death penalties, Indonesia in particular has found itself in this in which there are, ritual killings, almost yearly ritual killings of nationals.
Let me come in here quickly.
Yeah.
You do remember that last year, and this is just, coming at the right time in your answering of questions, saying that death penalty has not in any way, according to statistics, reduced the crimes, really. My point to you now is this. I do remember that last year, the Special Assistant to the President on Diaspora Affairs, that's the Honorable Abike Dabiri, also speaking on this issue when some Nigerians were being executed about the same time last year, speaking that, look, the best thing to do is for Nigerians to indeed stick and respect the laws of the countries they are in. Now, it does appear that we have two extremes now, appeal and execution. Is there a way to balance out this information in terms of urging our people not to break the rules of the land? Because if the rule of the land is to not do a certain thing and then the punishment is to kill, as it were, what else can be done to make sure people respect the laws of the countries that they are in?
Well, you will recall that those were my preliminary remarks. I took off by making the point that if a national of Nigeria, albeit any other country, moves to a foreign country and refuses to comply strictly with the laws of those countries, including the capital punishment, offenses that attract capital punishment, however retrogressive it sounds, it will, in my humble view, amount to the fact that such a national, intends the natural consequence of breaking that particular law. Right. I took off by making those preliminary statements.
Right.
But what can be done is to also opt our diplomatic games, in which case it does not just stop at documenting cases of killings arising from the implementation of capital punishment in these foreign countries. It will take a government that will be proactive in terms of, first of all, engaging through the embassies of these states, particularly these East Asian countries, to enlighten the Nigerian people, to bring it to their notice that as far as the laws of Indonesia is concerned, any issue regarding drug or drug trafficking attracts the ultimate punishment, and that is death penalty.
Mr. Malaki Ugumadu, just hold on right there. We'll be right back to you because the lawyer for these Nigerians that are about to be executed is joining me now on the program. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Mr. Ricky Gunawan. Thank you so much. My first question to you is the fact that the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has expressed concern that the inmates had not received a fair trial. Is this the case for the people that you're representing, these Nigerians? Mr. Gunawan, thank you so much for joining us. I believe that you are with me right now. My question to you is the fact that the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights had earlier expressed concerns that the inmates had not received a fair trial before these executions decision. Is that the case with the people that you're representing, these Nigerians?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, you're live on Network Africa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
So, you are representing the Nigerians on the death row. Do you think that the inmates had received a fair trial? All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come right back to you as we fix the technical issues that we appear to be having. When we come back, we'll take a look at some other stories and continue with our interview of the pending executions about to be carried out in Indonesia. Our guest will be on the program, and also we will talk more about Egypt's economy. Just stay with us.